Okay, my name is Max Weaver, and this is my presentation on Hitler's death. So, as the Allies were approaching Germany, Hitler learned that his troops had disobeyed his counterattack against the Allies, and this sent him into a nervous breakdown. And he went on this long spiel about how cowardly and unloyal his troops were, and it finally culminated with him telling all his generals that he was going to stay in Germany until the end and end his life. So, following this long speech, he asked the SS physician what the best way to kill himself was, and his answer was the pistol and poison method, which pretty much included taking a cyanide capsule and then shooting yourself in the head with a pistol. And so he had the physician start working on capsules for him and his wife. And so on April 27th, the Allies were approaching, and he knew that it was almost time, and he amended for the first time ever that not that Hitler, that Germany was going to lose the war, and this was important because he had a huge ego, and he had never admitted this before. And so as they started to get closer, he got worried about the about the quality of the pills that the physician was making. So he forced the physician to give one to his own dog named Blondie, who died immediately after taking the capsule. And then on April 29th, he married his wife named Eva Braun in kind of like a last ditch effort. And then the next morning, he wrote his final wills and testimonies for how he wanted their bodies to be disposed and how he wanted conduction of the army to continue once he had passed. And so later that day, he learned of Mussolini and his wife's assassination, and he learned that they were hung up in the streets by their feet and mocked and finally threw into the gutters. So he was getting even more scared about death at the hands of the Allies and what would happen with their bodies. Um, and so on April 30th, he walked through the corridor as kind of like his last goodbye to everyone. And there was about 20 people in the corridor, mostly women, and he shook their hands and thanked them for serving him faithfully and said his goodbyes. And at 14:30 military time, him and Eva Braun went back to his personal study, and he set guards outside of his door and told them that once they heard the sound of a gunshot to come in and start the disposal of their bodies. So once they heard the gunshot, they came into the room and they found Eva Braun slumped over as she had only taken a cyanide pill. And then they found Hitler with a gunshot wound as he had taken both the pill and shot himself. And so they retrieved their bodies and continued with the disposal that Hitler had wished for, which was carrying them out through the emergency exit into the Reich Chancellery courtyard and setting their bodies or lighting or sorry dousing their bodies in oil and then lighting them on fire, and that is the death of Hitler. Thank you.